If feeling scared wouldn't feel so scary, it would be so much easier to heal the fearful avoidant attachment style. I am Pauline, and I am so happy you are here, because part of being a fearful avoidant means there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and feeling scared, feeling fearful feels so overwhelming. And what if that wouldn't be the case anymore? And this might even sound crazy to you. I know that it took me years and years to realize, wait, maybe I don't have to be so scared, of feeling fear. But not putting fear on that pedestal and having it have so much power over you really will make a world of difference. Because right now, probably when you're feeling scared, you are trying to get that to go away by controlling, by fixing, by doing something. And that could be a whole wide range of things. Whereas when it doesn't feel scary to feel scared anymore, you don't have to let those mechanisms kick in. So why does it feel so scary to feel scared? There are several reasons. One is fear is just pretty much always present, right? You probably have this feeling of impending doom constantly, and that is just exhausting. So when you then get triggered and it gets even worse, there's a panic or there's even more fear, it feels urgent. It feels like you have to do something now to get that away, because your system is already kind of taxed and just can't handle much more fear and anxiety. So this sense of impending doom is a fear response, and it is designed to kind of keep you hypervigilant, keep you on your toes, keep making you pay attention, so that you may control whatever is going to happen and can predict what is going to happen. And that doesn't work, unfortunately. But that feeling of impending doom kind of already taxes your fear limit. So another fear trigger is just a little bit too much for your whole system. But one of the main things why feeling scared feels so scary is because when you were younger, you were alone with your fear. And you were not guided through it. You were not taught how to process it. You were not, there was not somebody with you to just be with you in it, to show you that it isn't scary to feel scared. And that means you feel alone when you're scared. And like nobody's there to help you, and you have to do it yourself. As a child, that is obviously not really possible. You don't really have much that you can do about any situation. The smaller you are, the more true that is. But then, for a lot of fearful avoidance, just this happens to a lot of kids. And that can definitely make being scared feel scary, and you want it to just go away, so you don't feel like something is happening that you just have no training in how to process. But a lot of fearful avoidant parents don't really allow or tolerate their kid being scared. And so you may have been mocked or humiliated for being scared. It's not scary. Don't be a baby. Just do it. Not really being there with you and guiding you through it, but kind of dismissing it or even judging it. And that makes it feel even bigger. So then when the fear comes up, your system is saying, this is scary, because not only am I going to be left alone, I'm going to be humiliated or mocked, or in one way I'm going to be hurt. So I shouldn't be feeling scared. And then maybe all of that makes sense. But what adds to that is something that is also very core to the fearful avoidant attachment style, is that being powerless is a trained mechanism. Because fearful avoidant parents have a hard time losing control. They don't want to lose control. And when their kid is powerful, they feel like they are losing control. So without knowing and without really doing this deliberately, they get you to a place where you're powerless. Not weak, because that's not allowed either, but powerless. You're not really, it wasn't really safe for you to be powerful. And so what you then have is kind of like this perfect storm where when you're scared, you have no training in how to cope with that and how to process that. You have the experience of being left alone with it, left to figure it out on your own. You have probably have the experience of being humiliated and mocked for it, so that makes it worse. And then you are also trained to feel powerless, so you can't really change something about the situation. And research shows that when you feel like you are powerless, that just increases anxiety. The more you feel like you can influence your circumstances, you can influence your life, you can take control over your life, the less anxiety you have. So all of this makes it so logical that you would feel scared, and that when you feel scared, it feels really big. And what I want you to know is that when you feel scared, when you feel fear, when you feel anxiety, it doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen. And that can take away a lot of the fear. So when you feel that feeling of fear, that doesn't mean that something's going to happen. When you feel impending doom, that doesn't mean that something's going to happen. So you don't have to immediately try to fix it, suppress it, get it away, heal it. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay if that feeling is there, because it's just a feeling. And this is so typical also for the fearful avoidant attachment style, that feelings in general get put up on a pedestal a lot. You give it a lot of power. And fear is just a form, a certain feeling that probably takes the throne. When you have a pedestal and you have a throne upon the pedestal, fear is there. And so you feel like when you feel fear, you have to do something or you have to not do something. And the less power you give to the fear, the easier it becomes to heal the fearful avoidant attachment style, and to also lessen the triggers and lessen all the mechanisms. Because a lot of the mechanisms and a lot of the triggers and a lot of the coping mechanisms that you have are actually designed in a way to cope with the fear, because you haven't had a healthy way to cope with the fear. So just knowing that feeling fear is fine and it doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen, that can already really help. How about we just work on this? Like, how about we just release some of the fear for the fear? Because that sometimes is like 10 times bigger than the fear itself, the fear for the fear. If you've watched more videos, you know I use EFT, the emotional freedom technique, which is an amazing, amazing technique to heal on a very deep level, but also to deal with fear and to help process it when you haven't really been taught how to. So you can use EFT to really heal the deeper layers. That is what we do in Healed and Happy, for instance, the online program. But you can also use it in the moment when you are feeling anxious. And what is the most powerful when it comes to fear is not using it to get the fear to go, but to calm your system down even when the fear is still there. Because that will train your system for in the future, for when that happens, that it's still safe. It's safe to feel fear. So we're going to tap. We're going to tap. That's what it's called, EFT. Watch videos on it. I have videos on it if you don't know how to. But it's a very beautiful combination of acupressure, where you tap on certain points on your face and your body, and you say certain things that helps you kind of rewire your beliefs and help you release any of the tension and the feelings that you have in the moment. So you can just do as I do and say as I say. Even though I feel this fear, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel so scared, I can still be safe. Even when I feel so much fear, it doesn't mean something's about to go wrong. All this fear that I'm feeling, it feels so uncomfortable. I really want it to go. Because I'm so scared something will happen. And I feel alone. And it feels so big. And I don't want to feel this. So I want this fear to go. I want it to not be there. I don't want to feel it. Because it feels so uncomfortable. But the fear can't hurt me. It can't really do anything. So it's okay if it's here. And it's okay if it's not here. It doesn't say something's gonna go wrong. It's okay if fear is here. And it's okay if I release it. Fear is just a feeling. My body is made to feel it. And I have been afraid so many times when nothing happened. I have been afraid so many times and nothing happened. It is just a feeling inside of my body. And I am bigger than that feeling. I am bigger than that feeling. And it's just a feeling. The feeling can't hurt me. It can't do anything. So I can be safe. Even when I feel fear. Okay. That was just a few rounds of tapping. How are you feeling? Did that help in any way? I hope so, because it's such a powerful tool. And it really especially also works with fear because it calms down your amygdala, which is kind of the warning center of your body. And that is shown in studies that it calms your heart rate, it calms so many things. So I hope you feel calmer now that you've watched this video and done the tapping. Please let me know in the comments below whether this was valuable or not. And what it's like for you when you feel scared, when you feel fear. I am so happy you are here, and I will see you in the next one.